Chuck is the best cat that I've ever had. If I could wallpaper my house with his face, I would. My name's Megan Rage. I'm from Sacramento, and I had cats my entire life. And then finally, when it was time to adopt again, I kind of wanted what I was familiar with, like a big, fluffy, white cat. So I went to Front Street Animal Shelter and was like, this is what I'm looking for. And the volunteer that was working there was like, I do have this cat. It's a black cat, and he's missing a leg. And I was like, that is the polar opposite of what I was looking for, but okay, I'll take a look. And he came hopping out. It was the cutest thing ever. Instead of a walk, it was a hop. And I was instantly sold. I was on a morning radio show, and all I talked about on the radio was Chuck. I was obsessed with Chuck. It was as if Chuck was like my boyfriend. And because he had a human name, I feel like it confused people a little bit, because I was always like, oh, I got home last night and Chuck was just chilling on the couch. And everyone's like, wait, is this your boyfriend or your cat? And he actually inspired me to use the radio station's influence to start a weekly segment that I called Megan's Spin of the Week, Special Pet in Need, where I went to Front Street Animal Shelter, featured a special needs animal to try to use the radio station's reach to find these special need animals their forever home. This cat's name's Ray. He's missing both of his eyes, and he's going to be available for adoption tomorrow, Whisker Wednesday, Front Street Animal Shelter. I've been on the radio here locally for like 13 years, and so, that's been my life. And then COVID happened, and I actually got furloughed on my birthday this year. They brought me into work and told me that, because of COVID, I was no longer going to be working. I was at home every day, and if it wasn't for Chuck, I don't know if I would have gotten through it. He was just such a support to me, woke up every day, could tell that I was down, would lay on me or sit behind my head. I just spent so much time with him. I realized day in and day out after sitting here that I needed to do something to move forward, and I had always wanted to start a podcast. I was like, oh my God, What the Chuck with Megan Rage, the What the Chuck podcast with Megan Rage. And I just could not believe that I came up with the perfect name that involved basically the mascot of my life, Chuck. Welcome to episode 15 of the What the Chuck podcast with me, Megan Rage. So it's great. The podcast really took off immediately. I was shocked by how many people were listening, and I owe a lot of that just to Chuck, because if Chuck only knew how big his fan base was, it would blow his mind. He has become somewhat of a local celebrity in Sacramento. People come up to me in public and be like, how's Chuck? So when I started this podcast, it started out better than I could have ever hoped and dreamed, because Chuck's name was on it, because he was behind it. It was like the perfect situation, because I had set up my at-home studio. So when a job to work remotely in Oregon popped up on the radio, I was able to submit something to them quickly, because I already had all like my gear set up, and I was actually able to get a job working on the radio, and I'm able to do it from home, sometimes with Chuck in the room. Just depends on what mood he's in that day. It's 104.7 K-Duck. My name's Megan Rage. We got Cardi B and Louis Capaldi on the way after this Miley Cyrus. It's New Midnight Sky on K-Duck. So it's just given me, that sense of security and normalcy during a year where everything has just been chaos. So I owe that all to Chuck. He is what brings me so much joy every day, no matter what. And I don't know what I would have done without him. And I just encourage people to go to their local shelter and look at what animals are there and available for adoption, especially special needs animals. They just have so much character. Chuck has just brought so much joy to my life. And if someone else could find that and it could change their life, I would be so happy.